Starting the recording here. Great, great, great. All right. Welcome to the Community for Conscious Living weekly live broadcast. This is Sunday, December the 18th of 2016. And thank you for being here this morning. The Community for Conscious Living is a community dedicated to personal transformation for universal harmony, healing the planet by making inspired changes in ourselves and our daily lives to create a sustainable environment and a peaceful world. So let's go ahead and get into our prayer circle. Let us all come together energetically in circle, coming together, sitting side by side with our hearts facing forward. Let's just take a minute, and if you care to, you can put your hands over your heart center, that energy center in the center of your chest. Take a few full and gentle breaths into this heart space. And invite your heart to face forward, this energetic funnel at the center of your heart to face forward toward the center of our circle, where our hearts come together as one, and just calling on the essence of the one in the name of the one, the most merciful, the ever compassionate, essence of divine light, the essence of unconditional love, the essence of eternal compassion, that compassion which is that existence, that vibration that translates into that state in our heart that bridges the world of duality with the world of unity, bridges that right, wrong, good, bad, all of that stuff. When we find compassion, it takes us away from the who's right, who's wrong, who's to blame, who's to be revered, and just takes us back to that state of oneness of just love. This love. So in the last several weeks, for a long time now actually, we've been focused on the universal harmony mission, part of our mission, personal transformation for universal harmony. We've been focused on that universal harmony and focused on prayers for the election, prayers for Standing Rock, prayers for our country, prayers for the world. And I want to bring us today back to this personal transformation piece, because we really can't come together to create the world that we want when we are, shall we say, really messed up. And nobody's really messed up, but sometimes we feel that way. That place of hurting and place of disconnection inside of ourselves that we sometimes feel. And that is the perception we take on, not really the truth, not the truth of reality, shall we say. So the poet Rumi said, "Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all of the barriers that you have built against it." So let's talk for a minute about why we put up barriers, what these barriers are. Barriers are just places where we put up walls, we put up shields, we put up faces that are maybe a little bit different from the reality of the true face. And that's what we do as humans. We come in with these tender hearts that are filled with love, that know what love is. And we come into this world that is like I like to think of it as the ultimate reality show. The ultimate reality show that is taking us to that desert island. I don't know if you've seen those reality shows where the people get dropped on the deserted island and they've got like no man-made tools, and they're expected to survive and put through all these challenges. That's kind of what this world is, except for it's even more intense, because in this world, you forget that you're this beautiful being of light. You forget that you are completely and totally connected to this source of wisdom and of love and of compassion and of like everything that you need, all of your provision, your safety, everything is connected in with this source that you're never separate from. You are, as the poet Rumi also said, you're not a drop in the ocean, you're the ocean in a drop. There is no separation between you and this all-knowing existence. And yet we forget who we are, we forget what we are, and all of a sudden we think of our little drops as separate little drops out here in this ocean, but we don't even realize the ocean exists, and we're swimming around trying to save ourselves when all we really have to do is realize that we are in the ocean, and the ocean is us, and all we have to do is rest into it and swim. Just swim. That's a message that I've heard many times through my spiritual journey and in dreams and in meditations. Just swim. You're already in the ocean. All you need to do is just swim. So meanwhile, though, we forget that on this reality show, and we put up these protective barriers. We put up these walls because we're in these physical vessels that we're in. We're here to learn so many things, and we have to protect the physical vessel. We have to survive in this physical vessel. And so we do a lot to protect ourselves and preserve ourselves on this journey, ourselves being the spirit integrated into physical form. And there's so much wisdom that's contained in this body as well. And we separate ourselves. Inside these bodies, we separate ourselves from the rest of the world. We also separate ourselves from our hearts. We separate ourselves from the core of our true spiritual nature, the truth of who we are. And these barriers keep us from knowing our truth, from swimming in our own ocean. They keep us from receiving love. They keep us from giving love. They keep us from being the love that we truly are ourselves. So again, let's just take a few breaths. And in these breaths, I invite you to just notice in your heart, just feel as we breathe into the heart center. Feel into your heart and just notice if you feel places of tension, feel places of constriction, feel places of pain, whatever you may be feeling in your heart. Just invite you to breathe this essence of unconditional love, of divine light, and this compassion, that compassion that bridges us from the place of right, wrong, duality into that place of just being in the ocean, swimming in the love, being in acceptance, being in truth. And I invite you to just put your whole heart into the center of this circle and let it be bathed in this ocean of love, in this stream of love and compassion that is streaming into the center of our circle. just notice as this essence, filling the center of our circle, filling the circle with light, with love, with compassion, this ocean swelling up around your heart, inside the barriers, outside the barriers. It's all ocean. And let yourself begin to breathe in and out through your heart center, just breathing in that essence of divine light. And as you exhale, just let your heart come to rest. And sometimes people ask, how do I feel my heart? What is my heart? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't feel that. And that's okay if you're in that place. You might just put your hands over your heart center. You have energy centers, a center at the center of your heart and also in the center of your palms. So just let the centers of your palms come and connect in with that center in your heart and just breathe in that space. And if it feels okay for you, just call on this essence of divine light. And just imagine this essence of divine light right in front of your heart center. And as you inhale, direct your breath, focus your breath right into that space underneath your hands, underneath the center of your palms, that you might feel a little warm spot, a hot spot right there in the center of your chest. And draw your breath in through that center. And let your breath draw in this essence of divine light and unconditional love right into the center of your heart. Take a nice, full, and gentle but deep breath, drawing this into the depths of your heart, as deep as you can draw it into your heart. And as you exhale, just let all of this space around your heart center relax. And just release any tension and allow this essence of light, divine light, unconditional love, and the eternal divine compassion just to flow into your heart center and fill that space. And inhale, draw in this essence of divine light, of unconditional love, of divine compassion. And as you exhale, relax, release, and receive. Just allow. And it's okay if the barriers are still there. There's no special way that this should look or be. And just allow yourself to witness and to notice. And again, drawing in this essence of divine light, of unconditional love, divine eternal compassion. Drawing this in through your heart center to fill all of your heart space, all of your chest space, and deep into the center of your heart. And as you exhale, relax and release, and let this essence stream into the core of your being. And what this is doing is connecting you with the truth of what exists in the core of your being, which is that stream of light and love and compassion. It's not something that's just outside of you. It is what is inside of you. The last emailer is talking about to live each moment as if you're face to face with the divine, because you are. This essence of the divine is the truth of your existence. What runs through the core of your being. It's the life force energy that runs through you and all of us and all of creation, everything, like electricity, giving life, manifestation to physical form on this planet. So let this connect through your heart. The heart is the portal. It reconnects you to the truth of your existence. So let this stream into your heart. You inhale it into your heart. Take it into the deepest place in your heart that you can go. And let it carry you to reconnect with that truth, that pillar of light and love and compassion that you are. Reconnect you with the truth of your existence. And just rest into that and allow yourself to be in this ocean. Sometimes I feel like in this world we swim around trying not to get wet. We swim in an ocean of unconditional love, and mercy, and compassion, and light, and we're trying to protect ourselves, trying to keep from getting wet when we are the drop. And by nature we are wet. With that love, with that compassion, with that light. And by nature of this existence, inside of you, outside of you, just be present as you witness these barriers in your heart. And allow those barriers to be witnessed by this essence of light and love and compassion. And allow these barriers. If you notice, if you are present to the barriers, it's like they'll have a posture, like a defensive posture. And just invite them to let down the defensiveness and just allow themselves to be witnessed. Just to let a little bit of this light come in. Just to penetrate the surface, to permeate into the walls. Let these barriers be touched by the water of divine light and unconditional love and compassion. And allow these walls inside your heart to be touched by compassion. Continue to breathe in this essence of light and love and compassion to gently flow through your heart. And there's no have to, there's no forcing, and there's no should about the way anything should be. It is as it is. But allow these places as best you can. Just give them permission to be touched by compassion. And invite the places in your heart, the barriers. Invite you to invite them to receive the compassion. Our task is not to seek for love, but to seek and find all of the barriers that we have built against it. Because the barriers keep us from being the love that we already are. They can't really keep us from being what we are, but they keep us from recognizing and knowing what we are. They keep us walking around trying to hide what we are, trying to resist what we are. We are not the barriers, we are the love. The love is the radiance, the love is the beauty, the love is the truth. The barriers are just the resistance to that. Some people say our past is what makes us who we are, the things that have built character. But truly, those are the doorways that give us the opportunities to know the truth of who we are. Because the barriers create the discomfort that draw our attention to the places that need love and compassion. And when we bring the love and compassion to these places, that's what returns us to the truth of who we are in a way that is more conscious. So rather than taking it for granted, we perceive having lost it and then return to it. So we know it in a more conscious way. But we've never been separate, not for a minute. You've never been separate from the truth of who you are, never been separate from essence of divine unconditional love. We separate ourselves from who we are by these barriers, but we're never separate. We just perceive it that way. And when we return, then that truth of what we are, who we are, can be lived in a more conscious way. we can show up for ourselves in a more deliberate, intentional, and conscious way. And this is as a community for conscious living dedicated to personal transformation and universal harmony. When we show up in this deliberate, intentional, and conscious way, recognizing the truth of who we are, recognizing that this same truth runs in every human being that we see, every animal, every plant, every element of nature, the air, the earth, the soil, the mountains, the rocks, the trees. This same essence of unconditional love and divine light and compassion runs through everything like electricity. It is the truth of what is in everything, and we are all reflections. Manifestations of this light and love and beauty, with no separation between us and any. This is when that conscious living, this intentional living, can bring peace to the people and to all of the planet. Because how can we hurt ourselves? How can we hurt each other? How can we hurt any element of the earth? How can we take any of it for granted when we know the truth of the existence of light and love and compassion that is all things? So again, allow these barriers to receive this essence of light and love and compassion. Allow them to be witnessed. Invite them to allow themselves to be witnessed. And if it feels right for you, invite them to release. As they only separate you from yourself. They're separating an ocean from love, from an ocean from love, ocean of love. Where there truly is no separation. Allow yourself to drop deeper into this ocean. And allow yourself to float, to swim, to dissolve, to be the drop in the ocean that is the ocean in the drop. So I'd like to invite your prayers, if you care to. I'm sorry I didn't do that sooner. If you're on the computer, joyfullylivingwellness.com/the-community, or joyfullylivingwellness.com, and click on the community. There's a place where you can type in your prayers and intentions and comments. And if you're on the phone, you can press *2 if there's a prayer or an intention or a comment that you'd like to add today. You can also, like I said, type it in at that place on the computer. Sorry I didn't ask for that earlier. Got carried away. You're welcome to continue to rest in this ocean and to inhale in that essence of light and love and compassion. Let me just make another statement about this. I just want to invite this essence of light and love and compassion to just ground deeper into your body. Because this isn't a meditation that you go away for and then come back. This is connecting you into the core of your being, the essence of the truth of who you are. And so you want to, as best you can, continue to anchor and anchor back into this place so you live from this place. So let this anchor into your body, anchor your conscious body into your physical form, which contains this ocean in your drop and is a drop in the ocean. So let your conscious being just drop into your physical form. Just really go clunk into your physical body. Taking a seat right into your physical seat. If you feel some barriers and blocks in your belly, you can move your hand down to your belly, to that center just beneath your belly button. Put your hands there. Give some security, some comfort, some protection to that space. Really let yourself drop in. And just let your energy body move all the way through your hips, through your legs, through your feet. Anchor you into the earth. Filling the core of your body and filling out all the way through your arms and your hands. Anchoring in. And this is your divine essence, present to yourself in physical form, carrying the light and the love and the compassion in the world, present with light and love and compassion to yourself, and carrying that presence of light and love and compassion to everything in the world, whatever you pass by. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording and open up for any discussion you want to have. Thanks. And if you're dropping off now, I want to invite you to come back here next Sunday at 10 a.m. right now at 10 a.m. Eastern Time at joyfullylivingwellness.com/the-community.